Okay, so it says the volume of a rectangular prism is a minimum of 25 cubic feet. The height of a prism is 3 more than its width, and the length is at most 5 feet more than its width. So I want to underline at most because that's important. Carla wrote a system of inequalities to represent the situation where V is the volume of the prism and W is the width. So then it has a bunch of statements here. I don't know if we're supposed to choose what the statements. There's probably one that's true. It doesn't really give us any instruction, but it says Carla wrote the system incorrectly. The first equation has the wrong inequality symbol. Okay, so let's think about that. So the first one, this is the first inequality is this. So the volume is less than W. So I guess we got to figure out what the volume of this is. So it is a rectangular prism, which means you have a rectangle that goes like this. Rectangular prism is just a box. That's a fancy math way to say box. And it says that the height of the prism is 3 more than its width. So let's call this the width, and then the height is 3 more than the width. So then this would be h equals w plus 3. Then the width is just the width, and its length is 5 more than the width. So the length is 5 more, so it's plus 5. So remember that the volume is equal to the length times the width times the height, or w plus 5. Dang it. Times the width, which is just the width, times the height, which is w plus 3. And if we multiply this out, I'm going to multiply this by this, which gives me w squared. 5 times w is 5w, 3 times w is 3w, and I add them together, I get 8w. And then 5 times this is 15, and all of that gets multiplied by w. So the expression is w cubed plus 8w squared plus 15w. That's if it equals, but we don't know if it, there's an inequality. So we got to go back. We're doing all this work to see if that is written correctly, because that's the first choice. It says is at most. So we have to determine what at most is. Oh. So what does at most mean? So let's unpack that. If I say something is at most 5, is it greater than or equal to or less than or equal to? So is 3 at most 5? So we're really saying less than. At least is greater than, at most is less than. So we're really saying that this is less than this value. The length is at most 5 more than the width. So what we're saying is the length at most 5 more feet, like this. Huh. But you can include it. So I think the first inequality is okay because we're saying at most, so that means it's less than. And then it's saying the volume of the rectangular prism is a minimum, so it's greater than or equal to 25 cubic feet. I think this inequality is incorrect because you have to have the equal sign. Because when it says at most, you could include the 5, right? You could we're saying yeah. So it's the first equation is wrong because you need the equal sign, right? So the volume is less than this. So let me clarify what I'm saying. This is at most the value, but the value could be a little bit less than this. The value is a little bit less than this, then the volume could be a little bit less than this. So the volume could be less than this, but it could also equal this. So really I should have the volume is less than or equal to this. In other words, I could, because this could be true when I say at most. That's not excluding this value. Because we're not excluding this value, we should have this symbol instead. At less than or equal to, and it's missing that or equal to. The second one is correct because the way it's worded. I think it's just this little equal to part that makes it incorrect. That's the